and welcome to the Red Bull Ring, and more specifically the head of the second F1 sprint of the season. Without further ado, let's do a little bit of a tour. And we're just down here in the Red Bull Bay. We're just down here in the Mercedes Bay. Great job by these guys at Mercedes overnight. They only had 6 hours between qualifying and FP2 this morning to repair these cars. They got this car, George Russell, out quite quickly into FP2, and he did a pretty strong job, as he has done really all weekend. He'll start P4 for F1 sprint today. Earlier today he was P7, having got into the car, got some good running on the soft tyres, just to see how long that's going to last in the F1 sprint. 24 laps around this pretty epic circuit here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, in Spielberg. Over on the other side of the garage, another epic job as well from the guys working on Lewis Hamilton's car. He'll start the race 9th. The F1 sprint will start 9th, and he was 9th quickest. He got out with about 14 minutes to go, just to get a good feel of the car before obviously he'll enter into this 24 lap race. The Mercedes have generally shown really good speed this weekend. More impressive really than I think even they thought they might get. We're heading down to Red Bull, and you can hear the tunes. I'll pop over to the other side in a minute, but I think the people in the grandstands are making just as much noise as they are in the Red Bull garage at the minute. Just down here with Max's car, up on the lift. Just turned the volume up, but nice and calm in the garage. Obviously there's a few bits that the guys can do just before the car heads out onto the grid later on, but Max has been in pretty epic form around here. Difficult middle sector in qualifying. He still pulled it back in the final sector, and that's only a couple of corners. He was third quickest this morning, but still within a couple of tenths of the pace down Ferrari. We'll just wander around to the other side of the garage, to Checo side of the garage. Really disappointment for the Mexican. He was P4 in qualifying, but demoted to P13 after they took away not only his lap in Q2, but every single lap that he completed in Q3, and that meant he dropped down to 13 for exceeding track limits. Because it happened after the session, it meant that obviously Pierre Gasly, he would P11, couldn't take part in qualifying. Disappointment all round for Red Bull, because that means that Max is all by himself really when it comes to strategy, not just today in the F1 sprint, but of course in the Grand Prix and the main event itself tomorrow. Now just heading down to Ferrari, and these guys, air of calm down here. These guys have looked very, very strong around here. I think the feeling generally coming into this weekend was that it was going to be a Red Bull circuit, but not only Charles but Carlos have looked strong all weekend. It was actually Carlos who was quicker this morning, just by 0.050 seconds, but it's Charles who will start further up the grid for the F1 sprint. He'll start alongside his title rival Max Verstappen in second. Just over on this side of the garage, Ferrari, nice and calm down here. Carlos has really stepped up his game since Canada. He was obviously epically quick across the Silverstone weekend, and that's really carried through into this weekend. Even on the timesheets on first practice, he wasn't too disappointed not to really be up there, because he was taking it easy, trying to build some rhythm into this weekend. Now, while it's been a strong weekend for Ferrari, it's not been so good for McLaren. Andrea Seidel, their team boss, was telling the media yesterday that frankly it's not good enough, the job that the team have done so far this weekend. Daniel had a DRS problem, and that put him on the back foot this weekend. He's in desperate need of car time as he's trying to build some rhythm. He could only manage the 17th quickest time in FP2, and he was knocked out of Q1 yesterday. You could see how distraught he was, and to be honest, he hasn't really got an explanation for why life has been so difficult. Obviously there was the technical problems, but it's just the rhythm that he's really struggling to get at the minute. Over the other side of the garage, Lando Norris was saying how scary it was when he encountered a brake-by-wire problem in qualifying yesterday. Still managed to get the car into Q2, and he'll start F1 sprint 15th. Car looked slightly quicker this morning in FP2 as they were looking at focusing on the longer tyre runs, and he managed the 10th quickest time. Onwards to Alpine, who really, out of the midfield teams, have been the strongest of them all. They brought an upgrade to Silverstone. They seem to be really getting the most out of it around here. Fernando Alonso, an impressive 4th this morning. Esteban Ocon 5th. Ocon was saying yesterday when I chatted to him after qualifying that was one of the best laps he's ever done. He really got everything out of the car. Fernando Alonso didn't quite get the most. We had a look at some data, and you know, in an ideal lap format, he would have been P7. So really, fundamentally, these guys are very much in the race, and we've seen how good the guy that we're just about to show his car, Fernando Alonso, we've seen how good he is in F1 sprints in the past. He likes to go aggressive. We've seen him take the soft tyre and really attack that start. We should see whether everyone will go completely with the softs at the start of this race, or whether anyone will gamble on the medium. It's looking like the soft will tail off in the final segments of the race. But yeah, another fantastic job from Fernando Alonso. Now you can see there's quite a lot of space in this Red Bull Ring pit lane. You can see the guys are just getting their trolleys in position, ready to head out onto the grid shortly, and that's where I'll be heading after this with Will Buxton for the pre-sprint race show that you can see exclusively on F1 TV. Oh, there's a fair bit of work actually going on down here in the AlphaTauri garage on Pierre Gasly's side. He was P11 yesterday. We'll start P10 with Checo's laps being deleted, but there's actually a fair bit of work going on at the moment. Just a couple of sensors being set up. Talking to Franz Tost this morning, he was actually pretty happy with the pace of the car around here, even if they have struggled a little bit for pace. Yuki Tsunoda really struggled in particular. Yuki Tsunoda really struggled in particular this weekend. But I think if they can get everything sorted, Franz reckons that, you know, they can pull themselves into the fight in the F1 sprint and set them up nicely to have a tilt on points in the Grand Prix itself. Onwards to Aston Martin. Now both Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll were at a loss . For a little bit just then because you wouldn't have been able to hear me, but I'm going to pop over just to have a peek out over the pit wall into the grandstands. We've got 105,000 people going to be packing these grandstands just once F1 sprint starts. It's been a phenomenal atmosphere this weekend. We're going to have around 300,000 in total at the Grand Prix weekend, and I'd say most of them are Max fans. Bedecked in orange. But just a quick word on Aston Martin. Sebastian Vettel, he'll start 20th today. Couldn't explain the lack of performance. Lance Stroll struggling as well. Williams though, it's a brighter story. There's a bit more of a spring in their step. We're just over at Alex Albon's side of the garage. Fair bit of work going on underneath the car. There's Nicky Latifi just in the background there, but Alex has got the full upgrade on the car this weekend, and I think there's some quiet optimism that he can make a little bit of progress today, and he's definitely looking at attacking forward rather than defending. They could put themselves in an impressive spot to maybe nick a point in F1 sprint or get some good points in the Grand Prix itself tomorrow. Just have a look at Nicky out here. Just having a little... Hello. Nicky's really built some performance of late. He looks really strong in terms of getting some rhythm over the course of the weekend. He's not got the upgraded car, so it's a pretty impressive job that he would manage to be that close overall to Alex Albon in the upgraded car. It's down at Alfa Romeo. A little bit of a difficult explanation as to why they weren't right there at the start. I might just stay quiet now. speaking to Fred Vasseur this morning, he was saying how surprised and pleasantly surprised he was at how easily Joe managed to get over the crash at Silverstone. Guys, it's the end of your tour of Liverpool. Thanks very much for joining us. Just a quick word on Haas. 4th and 5th was the best result they've ever scored here, and they got that in 2018. So if they could equal that here, based on their performance, it's not an impossibility. Thanks very much for joining us. As I said earlier, Will and I will be doing the pre-sprint show on F1 TV now. Follow us on our social channels and F1.com, and we'll do this again tomorrow ahead of the tour.